Good morning, students. Today our topic is computer networks, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about unguided media, means wireless network. So as you know that there are two classes of transmission media. These are guided media and unguided media. We already discussed in our previous lecture or video about guided media. So there are three basic categories of guided media. These are twisted pair cables, coaxial cable, and fiber optic cables. Guided media is also called as wireless communication or wireless wired network. So wired network, basically we can establish using twisted pair cables, which is mostly used in telephone lines. Coaxial cable, uh, mostly used in TV cables, and fiber optic cables, which has maximum speed. And as far as unguided media is concerned, there are three major unguided media. These are microwave, radio waves, and satellites. Actually, radio waves, microwave, and satellite are high range unguided media, and short range unguided media contain infrared, Bluetooth, etc. So let us start. First of all, microwave. Microwaves are electromagnetic waves and having frequency range from zero point 0.3 to 300 gigahertz, and microwave signals are used to transmit the data without cable. That is important because it is unguided media, of course. And microwaves are transmitted from the transmitters placed at very high towers to the receivers at long distance. You can easily see in this diagram. So microwaves are transmitted from the transmitters placed at very high towers to the receivers at a very long distance. And the microwave signals are similar to the radio and the television signals and are used for the long distance communications. So these are used for long distance communication, and it consists basically three parts: transmitter, receiver, and atmosphere. So these are the three important parts of a microwave: transmitter, receiver, and atmosphere. Okay. Next is a, you can easily see here, there is a diagram here. Okay, so microwave are transmitted in the line of sight fashion and also propagate through the surface. So this diagram shows the propagation of the microwave here. This is the direct part and this is the secondary part here, and transmitted in the line of sight. That is very important. So two important points must be remember. First of all, microwaves are the electromagnetic waves and the frequency range is 0.3 to 300 gigahertz. Second thing is, it is a type of unguided media, means you can transfer the data without cables, and it consists of a transmitter, receiver, and atmosphere. Without atmosphere, you are not able to transmit different signals here. So, and one more important point, microwaves are transmitted in the line of sight fashion. And advantage, maintenance easy than cables. They are easy to maintain as compared to cables. Suitable when cables cannot be used. And disadvantage, repeaters are required for long distance communication and less bandwidth available. Repeater is basically a network device which is used to amplify or regenerate the signal. When we found a signal is weak, then we place a repeater at that place, so repeater just catch that signal and amplify that signal, and or we can say that regenerate the signal and then transmit it again. So so microwave basically require repeaters for long distance communication, and they have less bandwidth also. Next is the radio wave. Next is radio wave. So they are widely used for communication, both indoor and outdoors. Cordless phones, AM and FM radio broadcast, garage door openers, etc. These are the example of radio wave transmission, and its frequency is much less as compared to the microwave. In long range communication, radio wave has the shortest frequency, and then microwave, and then satellite. So highest frequency contained by a satellite, and then microwave, and then radio wave. That is the order of these different unguided media. So they are used both indoors and outdoors. Most of the time cordless phones, AM and FM radio broadcast, garage door openers, etc. Advantages: relatively inexpensive than wired media. It offers ease of communications over difficult terrain, and these waves are omnidirectional, means so the transmitting and receiving antennas need not to be aligned. So that is the most and big advantage of using radio waves. Next is a satellite. So geostationary satellite are placed around 36,000 kilometer to 50,000 kilometers away from the Earth's surface. And in satellite communication, transmitting station transmit the signal to the satellite. It is called as uplinking. It is called as uplinking. And after receiving the signal, microwave, means it amplifies them and transmits back to the Earth in whole visibility area. So receiving satellite stations at different places can receive these signals. It is called the downlinking. So two processes are there, uplinking and downlinking. Downlinking means satellite receive the signal, and uplinking means satellite receive the signal, and downlinking means at receiving ends or receiving stations at different places receiving these signals. Advantage: so area coverage is too large, and disadvantage, very high investment is there. So these are the three different types of unguided media here. Always remember that in these three, among these three, satellite have highest range, and then microwave, and then radio waves. Radio waves have the shortest range, and this is a diagram of satellite signals. Advantage, you can easily get area coverage is too large, and disadvantage, high investment is here. So this is a geostationary satellite used for satellite communication. You can easily see here. Now for short range unguided media, first one is infrared waves. So infrared frequencies are just below the visible light, and these high frequency allow high speed data transmission. These waves are used for short range communication, approx 5 meter, in a variety of wireless communication, monitoring and control applications, home entertainment, remote control devices, cordless mouse, and intrusion detectors are some of the devices that utilize infrared communications. Advantages: it is a line of sight transmission, therefore information passed to one device is not leaked to another device. That is the biggest advantage of using infrared waves. And it need no government license. No government license required for their use. So that is another advantage of using infrared waves. So first of all, always remember that infrared frequency are just below that of the visible light, and second is high. These high frequency allows high speed data transmission, and communication is 5 meter. Communication range is 5 meter, and they are used in cordless mouse, remote control devices, intrusion detectors, etc. And no government license required for that, and no leak of information is also there. Next is Bluetooth. So Bluetooth technology uses radio waves in the frequency range of 2.4 gigahertz to 2.480 gigahertz. That is the frequency range of Bluetooth. So this technology is used for short range communication, approximately 10 meter. So it cover only 10-meter distance, and in a variety of devices for wireless communication. When we just discuss types of network on the basis of the distance as a LAN, MAN, WAN, then there is another term known as PAN, personal area networks. So in personal area network, we just transmit the data from one place to another within a short range, within a 10-meter range. So Bluetooth, we can use Bluetooth, any Bluetooth device to send that data within a 10-meter range. So there is a question regarding to that which device can you use, or which type of unguided media you can use in personal area network. So Bluetooth is an example of that, because its range is only up to 10 meters. And as you can see here, baby monitors, door openers, and cell phones are some of the devices that utilize Bluetooth communications. Advantages: line of sight between communicating devices is not required. That is the biggest advantage of using Bluetooth here. And Bluetooth can connect up to 8 devices simultaneously. So different devices, maximum to 8 devices can be connected using Bluetooth. And the disadvantage is slow data transfer rate, up to 1 megabytes per second, MB per second. So that is a disadvantage of Bluetooth. Next, other disadvantages are, okay, only these are the disadvantages. Only this is the disadvantage of Bluetooth. Our next topic is communication devices. So as you know that communication devices are those devices which helps in computer network to communicate one computer or one workstation or node to communicate to other computer or workstation or node. So there are some communication devices. We discussed few of them, just as modem. Modem is one of them, and modem stands for modulation demodulation. And there is a conversion of a signal into one form to another, such as analog to digital or digital to analog. So this conversion is done by modulator and demodulator. So these are the part of a modem. So modem basically converts analog to digital and digital to analog signal. And some other network devices other than modem are hub, switcher, router, repeater, bridge. So these are some other network devices, and you must know about each network devices, what is the use and what is the purpose of these network devices in a computer network. So this is our first network devices, hub. What is a hub? So hub in a computer network is used for connecting multiple computer or segment of a LAN. So if you want to connect computers in a lab or in an office, then you can use hub. So hub basically used to connect different computers or multiple computer in a lab or in an office, or you can also connect different parts of a LAN using hub. So hubs are fundamentally used in networks that use twisted pair cable to connect devices. So most of the time hubs are used where twisted pair cabling is used, and they are designed to transmit the packets to the other appended devices without altering any of the transmitted packet received. Here the word is used, packets. Packet is when we transfer data from one end to another end, from sender to receiver, then data is divided into a smallest part. This smallest part is called small part, and this smallest part is called the packets, in which in each packet contains some data and link to the other packets. So basically hub transmit the packet to the other appended devices, and without altering any of the transmitted packet received. So they receive the packets and they just pass it to the other computer. And the next is on an network hub is a node that broadcasts data to every computer or Ethernet based devices connected to it. It is a very important point. Hub just receive the packets, these packets, and send these packets to other computers. or just broadcast these packets. Broadcast means send to each and every computers connected uh, via hub. So it is called the broadcast of a data, so broadcast of a packet. So uh, the computer that doesn't need that packet also receive that packet, and that is the biggest disadvantage of the hub. So it just broadcast the data. So hub sends the data packets, frames. Packets are also called the frames in here, packets of frames, to all devices on a network regardless of any MAC address contained in the data packets. So hub don't contain any MAC address, means media access control. It just simply means that hub sends the data from one computer to another without identifying their MAC address. MAC means media access control. So it just not give a particular packet to a particular computer system or particular node or workstation that are connected to a network. It just send all the computers connected to that hub. So that is called the broadcast. So there is a no address used, that is MAC address. MAC, as we know that MAC address is the unique address that every machine contain, or every computer contain, which in which there are a NIC card, network interface card. So NIC card contain the MAC address. So when we send data through hub, so there is a no provision that it send data through MAC address or IP address. It just simply broadcast the data. So every computer that are connected to a computer network that receive the data. So that is the biggest disadvantage of the hub, but it is easy to use and simple to use and easy to implement also, and it is a very as far as the price is concerned, other when we compare hub to other network devices such as switch, it is much more cheap than switch. So we most of the time use hub here. Next is hub falls two categories. Now there are two types of hub. First one is active hub and second one is passive hub. Now there is a concept of repeater again. Just as the name says, repeater, it means it repeats the signal. So repeater is the network devices. We will discuss it in later on this video, but here is a brief description about the repeater, because repeater word is used here. So repeater is a network device which basically repeats the signals, or we can say that amplify the signal or regenerate the signal. Actually what happens when signals sent from one station to another stations, then signals, that if the distance is too much high, or then in that case signals gets weak, and we have to amplify or regenerate the signal at that point of time. So we use a network device called the repeater. So repeater just capture these signals, regenerate the signals, amplify the signal, and then regenerate the signal. So that is the work of the repeaters. Now as far as hub is concerned, so hub falls in two basic categories: active hub and passive hub. So active hubs basically also known as repeaters. So they don't just broadcast the data, but also they uh, amplify the data and regenerate the data. As far as passive hub is concerned, they are most like point contact for the wires to built in the physical network. They have nothing to do with the modifying the signal. They don't modify the signal, they just broadcast the data. So there are two basic categories: active hub and passive hub. In active hub, active hub calls the repeaters, and passive hub just broadcast the data without modifying the signal. This is a diagram of a hub. You can easily see here. So different devices are connected to hub. Here four different devices or different workstations are connected using this hub. Next is switch. Switch is like a hub, but the only difference between hub and switch is that switch is an intelligent device. Means it sends the data on the basis of MAC address. It just don't broadcast the data to each and every computer. It just sends the data from for a particular computer using their MAC address, media access control address. So that is the difference between hub and switch. So a network switch is also connect computers like a hub, where the switch differs from the hub is in a way that it handles packets of the data. When the switch receives data, it determines the destination and sends it directly to the devices. It doesn't broadcast the packet to all computers as it hub does, which means bandwidth is not shared, and makes the network which more efficient. For this reason alone, switches are usually preferred over hub. And how it works by sending the data all the ports on the devices where the switch transfer it only the port which is connected to the destination device. So this is a diagram of switch, look like as the same as that of the hub, but there is a there is a big difference between hub and switch. Always remember that switch is an intelligent device. It means it sends the data to a particular computer system, not like that hub which broadcast the data to each and every computer that are connected to a hub. So that is the biggest difference between the hub and the switch. Second difference is that switch use MAC address, so it basically sends the data to a particular computer system on the basis of their MAC address. It does not broadcast the data, so that's why they are called the intelligent device. It means they can sense that which computer they can sense that how many computers connected to the switch and data is sent to which computer. So that's why they are called the intelligent devices. Here the word packet is again used, and as I told you that when we transfer the data from one computer to another, then it is transmitted in the forms of packets. So packet is the smallest unit that can be sent one time in a network. This is a diagram of a switch. You can hear that 5-port network here. So 5 different computers are connected to that switch here. Next is router. A router is a hardware device designed to receive, analyze, and move incoming packet to another networks. So it is a hardware device first of all, also a network device also, and its work is to analyze and move incoming packet to another network. So it just transfer the incoming packets from to other networks, and it also analyze the packets. So that purpose router is used. It may also be used to convert the packet to another network interface, okay, and drop then and perform the other action relating to the networks, and it can connect multiple computer network via wired or wireless wired connections. So 3 important things here are here regarding to the router. First of all, it may be wired or it may be wireless, first thing. And the second thing, its task is to receive the packets, analyze the packets, and forward the packets to other network, or it's just convert the packet to another network interface also. According to the another network, it also convert that packet into another network interface and just drop them and perform other actions related to the network. So it does not only analyze the packets, but it also send the packet. It also drop the packet, perform other actions related to the network, and it also convert the packet to another network interface. So that is the work of router, and it can be wired or wireless. There are 2 types of router here. You can easily see in a diagram. This is the wireless router. So that is very important part of a computer network. So in one line, if I want to define a router, so we can say that work of router is to analyze, receive, and send data packets according to network interface. Now repeaters, as the name suggests, repeaters, so they repeat the signal, or first of all they just receive the signal, then amplify the signal, and then regenerate, and then send the signal or regenerate the signal to other computer device. So a network device used to regenerate or replicate a signal. So this is a network device which is used to regenerate or replicate the signal. Repeaters are used in transmission systems to regenerate analog or digital signals distorted by transmission loss. So what happens when data signals are sent from one place to another, from sender to receiver? They are distorted, and they may be analog signal, they may be digital signal. So the repeaters just receive them and regenerate them. So that is the task of repeaters. So there are 2 types of repeaters: analog repeaters and digital repeaters, depend on the type of signals. So analog repeaters frequently can only amplify the signal, while digital repeaters can reconstruct a signal to near its original quality. So analog repeaters just amplify the signal, while digital repeaters can reconstruct a signal to its original quality. So that is the use of repeaters. So repeaters just repeat the signal, reconstruct the signal, amplify the signal, or regenerate the signal. That is the use of repeaters. You can easily see here there is a diagram of repeater here, and they are used in long distance communication where there is a risk of data transmission loss. Then repeaters are used here. Repeaters are used most of the time above 100 meters distance. We can use repeaters in a network. Then bridge. A network bridge is a device that divides networks into a segment. If you want to explain this bridge in a one line, then you can read it as a fourth line. Basically, it divides the it connects two local area networks. So if you want to connect two different local area network or two different types, then you can use a bridge. For example, if in your school there are two computer labs, and in each computer labs are there in each computer lab there is a proper networking. It means a proper LAN is there, and you want to connect these computer lab also, then you can use bridge as a network device to connect these two computer labs. So it connect two local area networks. Two physical LANs into a larger logical LAN, or two segments of the same LAN that uses the same protocols. Protocols are the rules and regulations that must be followed by a network. So some protocols are HTTP, STTP, SMTP, FTP, TCP/IP. These are the protocols. So network bridge is a device that divided a network into segments. And divided network into segments. It inspects incoming traffic and decide whether to forward it or not, forward it or filter it. And bridges are computer network devices that build the connection with the other bridge networks. Which use the same protocol. So there is a condition that both of the LAN use the same protocol, then they are connected. They can be connected using a bridge. So this is all about computer networks. So here the first unit is complete, and network is last part of that unit. Some few topics such as chat, social media sites, and other some few topics are also there, but in our next lecture we will discuss a few of them, and we will definitely start second unit in our next video. So let us take a quick revision all the terms we discussed here. First of all, transmission media can be divided into two basic categories, guided and unguided. Again, unguided media can be divided into long range and short range. In long range there are three different types: microwave, radio waves, and satellites. Remember their frequency and their distance. Okay, then short range infrared waves are there, and Bluetooth is also there. Then network devices, different network devices are also there. First one is modem, which is already discussed. Modem stands for modulation demodulation. Then hub used to connect different computers or multiple computers to each other. It is a non-intelligent device. It means it just simply broadcasts the data to each and every computer that are connected to a hub. Second, its type, active hub and passive hub. Active hub basically play a role as a repeater, and passive hub basically do nothing with the modifying the signal. They just broadcast the data. This is the diagram of hub. Next is switch. Switch is an intelligent device, look like as same as that of the hub, but it send the data from one computer to another, or we can say that send packet from one computer to another on the basis of MAC address. Then router is there. So router is a hardware device that designed to receive, analyze and move incoming packets to the network, and this is an example of wireless router. Second is repeater device used to regenerate or replicate a signal. So in long distance communication we use repeaters to regenerate a signal when we found this. And last is bridge, which is basically used to connect two local area networks, works on the same protocols. So this is all about today's lecture. Thanks for watching this video.